Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. Thank you for watching this video. So in this video, we discuss about the CSS. We continue on the cascading style sheet. CSS is stand for the cascading style sheet, and this is a scripting that used in order to format the HTML document. So it describes how HTML elements are to be displayed, how we want the user look the document HTML file that we develop. So CSS is is a formatting of the HTML document, and one page of the HTML document may have several style sheets. You can add multiple style sheets in one page of the HTML file. Okay, the same thing for CSS. It must have the selector H1 and the declaration inside the curly bracket. So for example, this one we have color blue, font size 12 pixel. So this one is the value, this one is the name of the declaration. CSS selector have several types of CSS selector. So these selectors are used to select the HTML element you want to style or you want to format. So what kind of the element? Before this, we already learned the element inside the HTML file is like the body of the HTML document, the header, the paragraph. So those are we call as the selector of the those are the element of the HTML document. We call it as the selector. So for example here, if you want to style the HTML body element, so you should write as this syntax. So body is refer to the selector one, and then inside the curly bracket we have the text align, center, background color. So this one is the property, what style that you want to use for that HTML element. So we have 5 types of CSS selector. The first one, we have the simple selector. So this one select element based on the name, ID, and class. Second one, we have the combination of selectors. Select element based on specific relationship. Number 3, we have the pseudo class selector. Okay, this one select element based on the certain state. Number 4, we have the pseudo element selectors. Selects and style a part of the element, more than one. And number 5, attribute selectors. Select element based on an attribute or the attribute value. So first we go for the CSS simple selector. So selector is referred to the tagging name in the HTML document. So these are the simple CSS selector. Okay, we have selector ID, hashtag ID, dot class, element dot class, *, this one for all element, and then this one element P, and then div and P. So this one is example, hashtag first name. So first name is referred to the ID name, ID selector, dot intro, P dot intro, so combination of element and the class. This one for the whole the all element inside the HTML document. This one with the tagging P, and this one for the tagging div and tagging P. So description of this example, hashtag first name, select the element with ID equal to first name. So first name is referred to the ID for the HTML document. Sorry, HTML element. Okay, and then select all element with class equal to intro. So this intro is referred to the class name. The next one, select only P element with class equal to intro. So element dot class intro. P refer to the element dot class intro. Inside the intro, this one for all element, this one only for the select tagging P, and this one select all div element and all P element. So these are the simple selector in the CSS. So you can look at this example, simple selector. Okay, for P, so we use tagging P as the selector. Okay, so this example for ID, so we use hashtag para1. So ID, this one for the class, and this one for P inside the class. Okay, example here, p.center. Okay, under the style, this one is the CSS. Okay, we have p.center, p.large. So it will use this style or this format for the p.center and p.large. Okay, so we look at the p here. For example, p class equal to center. So refer to the class. Okay, dot center, this one is the class. So P to center, so this paragraph will be read and centered aligned based on this one. P large, so refer to the tagging P class large. You will find the class large. Okay, this one class center large, so it combines center and large. So this paragraph will be read, center aligned, and in a large format or font size. So it combines the center and the large. So this is the example on how the CSS, a simple CSS, work in the HTML document. Okay, this one example for the universal selector. So it use the asterisk or star. Okay, and then we have the curly bracket here, text align center, color equal to blue. So these are the formatting part. So every HTML element in the HTML document will be affected using this format. Okay, the next one is grouping the selector. Okay, for example, we have 3 parts. Selector H1, selector H2, and selector P. H1, H2, and P are similar. So we can group it together, become H1, H2, P, curly bracket, and inside the curly bracket we can put the formatting. So instead of having 3 different CSS for the H1, H2, P, we can combine or grouping those selector in only one selector. So it's referred to H1, H2, and P, text align center, color equal to red. Okay, these are the table for CSS combinatorial selector. Okay, for selector element, example div, div, and P. So this one select all P element inside the div element. Okay, this one we have element greater than element. So div greater than P, select all P element where the parent is a div. So because div is greater than P. For this one, element plus element. So select the first P element that are placed immediately after div element. And then another one, element 2. So using this symbol, so P, UL, so select every UL the listed element that are preceded by a P element. So this on how we can use the CSS combinatory selector. So combinator in CSS, there are 4 different combinator. Okay, this space, the child selector, either greater than or less than, adjacent sibling selector or plus, and general sibling selector. So the description here. Here are the description of the combination in combinator in the CSS. So example here, okay, we can have div p, this one element, and then we have div plus sibling selector. Okay, this one for the child selector, we can write like this one, greater than p, and general sibling selector div p, using this symbol. So this is how we can write down the CSS using the combinator CSS. Okay, the next one we have the CSS pseudo classes. So this one is used in order to define a special state of the element. Okay, for example, it can be used to style an element when a user mouse over. Okay, it relates to the event when we browse the website. So mouse over, okay, let's say mouse over this button, for example, what happened, and then style visited and unvisited. Let's say we have a link, hyperlink inside our HTML document, so we can use for visited. If the user already visited, it changed to red color. Unvisited link will be in blue color. Okay, that are the formatting part. And for the get focus, so let's say you bring this arrow to this button, for example, so this button will turn get focus. We use the get focus part. Okay, so this is the syntax for the pseudo classes. Okay, you have selector, and then you have the symbol and pseudo dash class in curly bracket property values. So this is the general format for the pseudo class. And you can refer to this table as selectors that can use for the pseudo classes. Okay, there's a lot of selector, and this is continue on that part. So you can refer to w3cschools.com in order to get more information regarding the properties that you can use or attribute that you can use in CSS. Okay, the next one we have the CSS pseudo elements. So a CSS pseudo element is used to style the specified part of an element. So for example, it can be used in order to style the first letter or line of an element. So it can choose specific element inside the element, only certain part. Okay, insert content before or after the content of an element. So for the CSS pseudo element, this is the general pseudo syntax. So the difference at this point. Okay, the previous one only have double note. This one we have double. What we call that? Titik bertindih. This one. Okay, so the difference is at this point. One for the pseudo class, one for the pseudo element. Okay, and then these are the selector that can be used for the pseudo element. For example, after, before, first letter, first line, and selection. So let's say you have P, at this part is your selector. After, so it means insert something after the content of each P element inside your HTML document. If P and then before, insert something before the content of each P element. P first letter, select the first letter of each P element. Okay, this one first line, select the first line of P element. And P selection, select the portion of element that is selected by a user. So these are the selectors that can be used in the pseudo element. So example here, okay, you can have unvisited, visited, mouse over the link and selected link. Okay, this one is referred to the this one is referred to the pseudo class. Okay, and then lastly, the combined pseudo class and the CSS class. You also can combine the pseudo class and the CSS class. Okay, example here, you have CSS e.highlight and then double dot over. So you can combine the CSS class with the mouse over class. So this part is referred to the this one, highlight reference syntax. Okay, to this part. So it use the class of highlight. So that's all for this video. Hopefully you understand. There are several concepts in the selector using the CSS. You can use those combination for the CSS selectors in order to do scripting on your HTML document in a better way, because it has class, it highly. So instead of do formatting one by one of the HTML element, you can combine it, or you can compress the scripting or the code line. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.